Hey guys, welcome back to another video. What we're going to be talking about today is what to expect from your first internship and basically how to prepare for it, right? So this is for whether you're going into your first internship in the winter or whether you're going into your second or third, whatever it may be, and it even applies to people that are just starting out their first full-time jobs, right? Recent grads or, first-time software developers that just made the transition. This could help all of you guys. And I'm just trying to give you guys advice on, what to do, what to expect the first time you're kind of in a workplace that is kind of focused on software engineering, when you're going to be working in a team of engineers and coding and stuff like that. So just a couple of things to expect. In my university that I went to, we basically had to do 2 years of internships to graduate. And so it was like four months in school, 4 months in work, 4 months in school, 4 months doing internships and stuff like that. So I've kind of done I've done a lot of internships. So I kind of know what to expect. My last internship was in Silicon Valley and it was a great experience. It can be a bit intimidating your first time going into a coding job, right? Where you're a software developer and you kind of feel like you're the most junior person. No one's taking you seriously, stuff like that. But it's really not that bad, guys. If you prepare well, if you're confident, you go in, it's a great experience given the right company, the right people, obviously, and how much you put in, but it can genuinely be a great experience. I've always said that I would learn way more on the job than I did in school or in a classroom, right? So in a classroom, we'd always be going through all these foundations and not really coding anything incredible. And then at work, I was given freedom and given the chance to work on some really complex projects and actually apply the stuff that I learned in school and really, work with a team where I was able to learn. So internships can be a great experience. And I just want you guys to have the best experience possible. So if you're new to this channel, what we do here is I kind of talk about a high-level overview of what being a software engineer really is and how you guys can become successful software engineers, whether you're, in high school or in college right now learning to become a software engineer, or if you're trying to switch career paths and try coding, maybe like that. I think all the information on this channel can really help you out. If you're new to the channel, feel free to like and subscribe if you like the content. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing I want to say is when you're an intern, right? You're going into a company to work there, people expect you to be an intern. They're not expecting a senior programmer when you walk in through the door, right? Or I guess in this case, when you're at home on Zoom, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is they won't expect you to be perfect, to be already like a successful engineer. They're going to know you're going to make mistakes. They're going to know that you're going to have a lot of knowledge that you don't know that they're going to have to explain to you. They know all that. They brought you in to learn, right? They want to teach you how to become a successful engineer and then hopefully keep you there full time and as a part of their team. That's kind of like, at least in my opinion, the goal of companies, right? If I was a company that hired an intern and he was amazing or she was amazing, obviously I would want them to come back, right? So they know that you're not the finished product. They're investing in time to teach you. So don't be scared to make mistakes. Don't be scared to ask questions. A lot of the mistakes that I've made and a lot of mistakes some of my friends have made when we've gone into internships is, being so scared to ask questions and make mistakes and fail, right? And that kind of, being afraid of these things ends up being worse in the long run, because when you do fail, you won't know how to handle it. And when you do make a mistake, you're going to be a lot more scared. Where if you were asking questions the whole time, if you were confident and you understood that you're in the middle of learning, right? Then your experience is much better and people are there to help you out. The other developers are there to help the intern out, to teach you. And if you're more open to this kind of treatment, then you're going to learn so much more compared to, if you're just there sitting by yourself, not asking any questions, you're just so serious trying to work all the time. It's really the time where you should feel, the right to make mistakes, try new things, try something you haven't done before, take a risk, right? It's the best when you're an intern because you're not really going to get punished for your mistakes. No one's going to punish you. They know you're an intern. They expect this kind of stuff, right? So it's really a rare time in the life of a software engineer where, you can make these mistakes. So definitely take advantage of that. Another thing that's super important and that I learned the hard way, I'm not going to lie, is that you get out of these internships what you put in. It took me a couple of internships to figure this out. But really, if you just show up, you sit down, you don't really talk to your coworkers, you just focus on your work. You get there at 9, you leave at 5, done. Obviously you have the right to do that. It's a job, but there can be so much more, some of my internships, I didn't make the effort to meet people. I didn't make the effort to, try working on something that I wasn't accustomed to, right? That was outside of my job description. And these kind of things really hindered me and didn't let me grow as much, not only as a developer, but as a person, right? Later on, you know, I was so much more open to meeting new people, working on new things, kind of working with people that were in completely different departments than I was, right? And it really opens up your mind. It lets you wear a ton of different hats and kind of gain these unique little skills. And even if you're working with someone that isn't necessarily in a tech related position, right? Everyone has something you can learn from them. And the more you branch out and the different types of experiences you get, the more you learn, and it really makes you a more complete person. So I would definitely recommend you guys to not be scared, not be shy, try to be try to get as uncomfortable as you can get, and really put yourself out there when you're at these internships, because given the right position, there's like some really successful people you could be working with and really awesome perspectives that you can gain, right? If you're in a small company, you can just talk to your CEO. Like, imagine all the conversations you can have with them and all the things they could teach you, right? Like, you can learn so much from them. And this is just one example of all the different people you're going to get a chance to work with. Everyone has something amazing they've done and something they've been through that you can take a lesson from. So definitely always try to be as open as you can in the workplace, and honestly outside of it, wherever you can. Another thing that really made a huge difference in my life when I was doing one of my internships, and I've talked about this before on my channel, is that I had a mentor. Basically, I had someone that was, you know, teaching me better habits, kind of giving me a lot of constructive criticism as I was going along the way. You know, I had an internship, and along the way, I was getting help, I was getting constructive criticism, I was getting told, you know, where I'm messing up, where I could do better, and it was really a great experience, and I also made a great friend out of it too. I was given the chance to, you know, learn from someone else's mistakes, not have to make those mistakes myself, and also learn from their wins, and just gain a lot of perspectives that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And it was really a great experience. I would recommend you guys to, you know, find a mentor, but it has to be like kind of, you know, you can't just come up to someone, be like, hey, be my mentor, right? It has to be kind of organic. It has to be more organic than that, and you have to build kind of a relationship to get to that point, right? So don't just go up to people and ask them to be your mentor. But I would definitely recommend you guys try to, you know, find someone like that in your workplace that can really, you know, accelerate your growth so much. Another really important thing to talk about when you're an intern is that you might be afraid that people won't take you as seriously. And sometimes, honestly, people don't take you as seriously, right? Because you're basically a kid in their eyes that doesn't really know what they're doing and is just there as an intern to learn. And people aren't gonna, you know, some people are gonna think that you're not like on the same level as them, and they're not going to give you as much responsibility, and they're going to just treat you different. That's the reality of the workplace, guys. That's just a reality you'll have to face sometimes. I faced it at times, and there were different companies that treated me exactly like a full-time employee, right? So obviously those are ideal, but if you get yourself into a position where, you know, some people aren't taking you seriously, don't take it to heart. They don't know what it's like to be an intern. They're kind of judging you. Don't take that to heart. Don't worry about it, guys. A lot of people in your career, in your life, are going to, you know, talk shit, and it's fine. Just ignore it, and just try to better yourself, do the best job you can do, and just realize, you know, sometimes people are going to hate, but it's okay. You know, that's life. You can't let it get to you, and you can't let it like stunt your growth. That's the most important thing. You have to keep growing, even in the face of, you know, all these people talking shit and stuff like that, but you got to keep growing. Another thing that, you know, I faced in my life that I had to deal with was that I didn't get the internship I wanted, and I had to settle for a different one, right? That's the reality. Sometimes it's going to happen, sometimes it's not going to happen, but if it does, you know, all you can do is face the reality that you're given, right? At that point, you're not going to quit the job you got, right? The situation you're in is something you have to accept, and you have to take full advantage of the situation you're in, right? If you got not the internship you wanted, but you still got an internship, there's still opportunity for growth, opportunity for learning, and it's really, it could surprise you also. It could end up being something that you're very interested in. So just because you didn't get the one you wanted, don't go in with a negative attitude. That's what I will say 100%. I've made that mistake before, and there's no point in doing it. You might as well be optimistic, because it's a job that you're getting. It's something new. It's a new experience, and really, it only does negative things to go in with a bad attitude. So who cares? Just go in with a positive attitude and make the best of it. And don't forget, guys, try to take on new challenges. Try new techs. If you only have experience in school, let's say, for example, working with C#, and then at your work, you're given an opportunity to work with Swift and, you know, kind of work on an iOS app. You know, I would always say yes to those opportunities. When you're given the chance to work with a new kind of technology, you could really learn that you like that a lot, and then kind of pivot your career and kind of focus on that kind of tech, and then really, you know, take that, commit to it, and become an amazing developer in one certain niche. Right? So everyone has to do that at one point. You can't program with all the languages, so you might as well take advantage of these opportunities to learn new things, right? And an internship is the best way to do that, because when you're full-time, you're kind of more settled in what you're doing, and sometimes it's harder to like switch languages and stuff like that. When you're an intern, you're given a lot more opportunity, so I would definitely take advantage of that too. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've taken this advice to heart. Don't be lazy when you get to these internships. Put in all your effort, and you're going to get so much reward from it. You know, take risks, take challenges. People know you're an intern, and these companies want you to take risks and grow as a developer, right? It's an investment they're making in you. Don't forget that. You're going to get back from these internships what you put in. So I would definitely go in with a great attitude and try to do your best job. If you guys like the video, feel free to like and subscribe. Comment down below if there's anything you disagree with, or if there's anything else that I missed. And if you guys have any ideas for any other topics you'd like me to cover, feel free to comment below, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and see you next time.